Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel Tarot C. I am Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages for the cards that come out in today's reading for you. Thank you so much for joining me and for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out and what messages come through with the cards that do come out in this reading today. So the first card we have is the Knight of Wands. We do have some fire sign energy with this. You could be dealing with another Sagittarius or an Aries or even a Leo. We've got the Nine of Wands. Sorry, we got the Nine of Swords actually. And we've got the Five of Swords in the reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Knight of Swords. So with this Knight of Swords, this does feel like an energy of someone who's rushing in. I do feel like someone coming into things kind of very headstrong and also kind of wanting to be able to embrace the situation, be able to have a connection. But I don't think that they think about the long-term consequences or even what's going to be required them on an emotional level. This feels like a very action-oriented energy with this Knight of Swords, but it does feel like someone rushing in. And with the Knight of Wands from up over here, I also get that this connection is one that's quite passionate as well. But this Knight of Wands, this also feels like bold energy. I do feel like this person is someone who is quite bold, even in the way in which they're approaching this connection with you. I feel like this person is someone who takes action. This person is someone who's quite passionate as well in this connection. But with this Knight of Wands showing up over here, it also feels a little bit like a very action-oriented and very passionate kind of a connection, especially when it comes to what this person brings to this connection. But I do feel like this connection requires also to be able to be sustainable, some emotional connection or communication in addition to all of the action. So with this Knight of Swords showing up over here, it feels like an intense energy. So feel like someone rushing in with a lot of certainty and a lot of determination. And with this Knight of Wands, I do feel like this connection is one that does feel very thrilling. But with this Nine of Swords showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of actually being in a space where this connection may be a little bit unpredictable. It may actually be a source of stress or overthinking, and even kind of having a sense of feeling like this connection is keeping you up at night. I do feel like someone in this connection feeling a bit of some anxiety. This Nine of Swords showing up over here. I feel like a conversation or communication needs to be prioritized. In addition to all of the action in this connection. With the Five of Swords showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of someone who has a desire to be able to have peace in this connection. This does feel like an energy of wanting to also be able to have communication with you in this connection. But I do feel like with the Five of Swords, this also feels like an energy of being in a space where somebody feels remorseful. Who feel remorseful about their previous actions or what they said or the way they handled things. So get that with the Five of Swords in the reverse, this also feels like an energy of coming to a pretty serious and more grounded way of being able to relate and even your dynamic. With the Five of Swords in the reverse, this feels like an end to what may actually have felt like a lot of games in the communication, and kind of prioritizing and taking the communication more so seriously with this Five of Swords in the reverse. So it also feels like being able to actually make peace in the situation, especially where there may have been an apology required in the situation. I do feel like somebody actually being in a space where they are considering or they're about to actually offer you an apology. I do feel like with the Knight of Swords showing up over here, this happens rather quickly as well. So I'm going to clarify these cards. So we've got the Six of Wands. And we've got the Six of Cups. And we have the Five of Pentacles. It is in the reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the King of Pentacles. So with this King of Pentacles, this does feel like a pretty grounded energy. I do feel like there is a desire for being able to have a sense of grounding this connection and being able to have a bit more stable energy in this connection. So So I do feel like that with this King of Pentacles showing up over here, this also feels like someone who is in this space and in this energy when it comes to this connection. And I do feel like things kind of getting to a place of feeling more so grounded. But the Six of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of someone who, you do feel like someone who's in the spotlight, or someone who, they definitely have your attention, or you may actually have this person's attention. But I do feel like there's a desire to be able to get your attention. With the Six of Wands showing up over here, this also feels like a desire for a successful connection. So I do feel like this person does take your connection very seriously, and I do also get that they take very seriously how things turn out and where things are headed. I do feel like they could have been a really strong start with this Knight of Wands showing up over here. But with this Knight of Wands, this feels a bit inconsistent. So I do feel like with this King of Pentacles showing up over here, this feels like a more stable energy. So I do feel like there's a conversation or communication surrounding the idea of being able to ground your connection, especially in order to be able to sustain it for the long haul. I do get that with the Six of Cups showing up over here. This does feel like a connection where there could be some history over here. It feels like it's with someone that you know. With the Six of Cups showing up over here, this also feels like a pretty genuine connection between the two of you. We do get the Six of Cups also kind of representing a relationship that does feel like it goes quite deep. It is one that is also even feels like a soulmate-like connection that you share with this person. With the Six of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like also kind of being in a space where you may have a soft spot for this person, or this person may have a soft spot for you. I do feel like there's a very genuine and very real connection over here. With the Five of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of actually trying to make peace in this connection, of trying to be able to reconcile and recover from something that may have felt like it had kind of set this connection back on some level, especially with this Five of Swords showing up over here in the reverse. I do feel like there's a sense of someone who's in a space where it's like they're taking accountability, they're being introspective, and I do feel like this person has a lot of remorse. It's like there's also a little bit of some guilt that is also something that is kind of heavy on this person's chest, and they want to be able to get that out. So I do feel like they want to be able to actually make a wrong right and make things right in this connection as well. With this Five of Pentacles in the reverse, this feels like an energy of a lot of potential to be actually able to recover this connection and even the situation. So I am going to clarify some cards. We have It Is Safe for You to Love. We have Honeymoon. And we have Finances and Career. So with the It Is Safe for You to Love card showing up over here, I do feel like there could have been some deflecting energy with this Knight of Wands. And with that, I do feel like there's a sense of actually having had kind of been in a space where somebody was kind of trying to mask where they were at and how they were feeling in this connection with you. But I do feel like this person kind of getting to this place where it's like they are gradually opening up and opening their heart to you in this connection. I do feel like with the It Is Safe for You to Love card showing up over here, this also feels like this connection being one that makes this person feel safe to be able to get to that space. I do feel like with the It Is Safe for You to Love card showing up over here, this also feels like an energy of being more so open and kind of being more open in this connection, and that naturally unfolding in this connection. I do get that with this Honeymoon card showing up over here, this feels like a desire to be able to kind of take the pressure off of things and be able to experience positive moments in this connection with this person. And I also feel like this person kind of offering an experience to you that does feel like it is less pressure being put in this connection, especially with this Nine of Swords. This does feel like an energy of being very much in your head or overthinking things, or even kind of feeling a little bit stressed out in this connection. But with the Honeymoon card showing up over here, this feels like an ability to be able to enjoy this connection. So I do feel like this does feel like actually an experience on the horizon, or something that somebody may be offering you. This could have to do with a trip, but it does feel like an enjoyable and exciting moments to share in a connection with someone. So get the holiday time or any holidays coming up, so being something where this is able to happen. With the Finances and Career card showing up over here, This does feel like when it comes to your finances and your career, this feels like this is a focus. And with the five of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, this feels like being able to make a comeback, being able to make a recovery in your finances. And with the King of Pentacles, this also feels like an energy of being on top of your finances and your career. So I do feel like when it comes to focus being placed in this area, I do feel like that's paying off. And I do feel like there's a sense of actually being able to experience a lot of your focus and even your efforts going towards your finances and career being something that is paying off in a way that does feel. I do feel like with the Five of Pentacles, this feels like very positive shift and positive energy when it comes to your finances increasing. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Sagittarius. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Sagittarius.